Half a century ago, on the first Saturday in May, a chestnut colt with a blue and white checkerboard blinker hood won the 99th Kentucky Derby. His margin was 2.5 lengths, driving. His time was the fastest in Derby history, and still is. His name was Secretariat.
And they're off.
2 weeks later, he broke poorly in the Preakness.
Secretariat is last.
But then, as if angry at himself, circled the field in the first turn. A move so rare that to this day it looks like an illusion.
And he's going to the outside.
He won again by 2.5 lengths.
He wins it by 2.5.
Almost dismissively. His time would be certified years later as the fastest in Preakness history, and still is. In the Belmont Stakes, he would try to become racing's first Triple Crown winner in 25 years. In a much deeper way, he would avert a wrought nation's gaze away from the Watergate scandal and the embers of Vietnam and toward a racetrack in New York. Secretariat ran with the gods that day, winning by 31 lengths in a record time of 2 minutes, 24 seconds.
That is a record that may stand forever.
It remains the greatest performance in racing history. He ran 6 more times, winning 4, and then never ran again, retired at age 3. But a most remarkable thing happened. In the 50 years since that ethereal spring of 1973, Secretariat became bigger. There was a book by Bill Knack, documentaries, and a major motion picture. Generation upon generation discovered Big Red. They learned about the serendipitous coin flip that awarded an unborn foal to Meadow Stable, about the giant heart, nearly twice the size of most racehorses, and about the generation of little girls inspired by Penny Chenery to grow up empowered in the Title IX era. Chick Anderson's stunning race call became a cultural touchstone.
Moving like a tremendous machine.
Bob Colonies' simple black and white homestretch photo, a museum piece, a still life of perfection. And something more. Great athletes make our impossible real. Great horses evoke compassion and love, in appreciation of that which they give of themselves. Secretariat was, and still is, both an otherworldly creature who ran like a storm and touched something in our souls. He touches it still. 3 white socks in the loam, a red mane flying on the wind, a memory that runs forever.
And you will see Secretariat being led. Number is 2, but he goes into the number 1 post.
Is in line, and they're off. Looks like the early lead goes to My Gallant. Yes, My Gallant going for the lead with Twice the Prince on the outside. Secretariat away very well, has good position on the rail, and in fact is now going up with the leader. They're moving for the first turn. It is Secretariat. Sham on the outside is also moving along strongly. And now it's Sham. Sham and Secretariat are right together into the first turn. My Gallant has third behind them. Then it's Twice the Prince, and the trailer is Private Smiles as they go by the turn. Those two together, Sham on the outside. Sham getting ahead in front as they move around the turn with Secretariat second. Then there's a large gap. Make it 8 lengths back to My Gallant in third and Twice the Prince fourth. And Private Smiles is still the trailer. They're on the backstretch. It's almost a match race now. Secretariat's on the inside, by ahead. Sham is on the outside. They've opened 10 lengths on My Gallant, who is third by ahead, with Twice the Prince fourth. Then it's another 8 lengths back to Private Smiles, who is trailing the field. They continue down the backstretch, and that's Secretariat now taking the lead. He's got it by about 1.5 lengths. Still Sham, 10 lengths back. My Gallant, Twice the Prince. They're moving on the turn now. For the turn at Secretariat, he looks like he's opening. The lead is increasing. Make it 3.5. He's moving into the turn. Secretariat holding on to a large lead. Sham is second, and then it's a long way back to My Gallant and Twice the Prince. They're on the turn. Its Secretariat is blazing along. The first 3/4 of a mile in 1:09 4/5. Secretariat is widening now. He is moving like a tremendous machine. Secretariat by 12. Secretariat by 14 lengths on the turn. Sham is dropping back. It looks like they'll catch him today as My Gallant and Vice Prince are both coming up to him now. But Secretariat is all alone. He's out there almost a 1/16 of a mile away from the rest of the horses. Secretariat is in a position that is impossible to catch. He's into the stretch. Secretariat leads his field by 18 lengths. And now Vice Prince has taken second, and My Gallant has moved back to third. They're in the stretch. Secretariat has opened a 22-length lead. He is going to be the Triple Crown winner. Here comes Secretariat to the wire. An unbelievable, an amazing performance. He hits the finish. No Belmont Stakes in the history of this race. Secretariat has accomplished the unbelievable task of breaking the 1.5-mile record by 2 3/5 seconds.
And we walked out, and there was Secretariat, and he's just grazing. And they won't let him into his paddock to graze unattended now because, you know, they're afraid that he'd run. He's just got so much spunk, and he couldn't be running on those hoofs. So we stood there, and I shot some video of him, and when we walked out there, and he heard us, his head came up, and he turned, and he looked at us. Oh, I mean, he knew he was on. And then he settled back down. He said, well, you look and I'll eat. So he just sat there and grazed, stood there and grazed, and then my kids were all standing together, and he started to walk over. And the handler let him get within about 3 feet of the kids. And, you know, I said, kids, turn around. Let me shoot some video of you with Secretariat. And it was just, he told us that it was bad and that sometimes it killed horses. But they said, we think we have it under control. And they gave my daughter, they said, Kira, here's something that you might like. And they gave her a braided piece of his mane. And they handed it to her. And she took it to school and was a big hero on Monday. But